What up, though? It's DJ Smithsonian, and you're now tuning into another episode of The Library. If this is your first time with us, if you don't know, this podcast is brought to you by Praise the Phrase, and this is the place where we talk about hip-hop's relationship with language, how hip-hop manipulates language, and sometimes even creates its own language. So, shout out to ATP. We are under the branch of the ATP Podcast Network and all that good stuff. And then also shout out to our other sponsors, Rap Geo, the hip hop map project that seeks to show the bridge between geography and hip hop, and all that good stuff. So we got ourselves a dope episode here. I'm back with my man Bosko. Bosko, what up though, man? How you doing? Oh yeah, fun fact, like this nigga Bosko was an actual librarian. Ain't that right?
Not what? Really, but I was like,
you was trapping in the library. What up, though? This is the place where we talk about hip hop's relationship with language, top 5 vocal samples, how hip hop manipulates language, iconic bars from some of my favorite MCs that don't quite make sense right now, and even how hip hop creates its own language. I'm gonna give you a deconstructed hip-hop lyric, and it's up to you to guess what the original bars are. It's DJ Smithsonian, and you're tuning into The Library.
I was a computer assistant, but I knew the inner workings of a library. I could check out a book if I needed to.
Look, you knew enough to tell me where the fuck I should have been.
True.
So today's episode is a little bit of a continuation, if you will, from the last episode. So I'm sitting. I was just telling Will, it's like I'm sitting on a bunch of episodes that we recorded, and work has just been nuts, and I haven't submitted them. So we're going to change the order. So if you are watching this in the order that I hope is the order, the last episode we talked a little bit. We kind of talked at the end about an emerging situation going on between the top tier MCs of this generation, and we figured we needed to dedicate an episode towards beef. What's beef? Fuck, damn it, Puffy. I'm sorry, I'm mad as hell because, like, you know, Diddy is going through whatever he's going through right now, and I mean, the only way to open up an episode like this is to say, do you know what beef is? And I feel like this man is derailing the movement because, like, I can't even quote this motherfucker. Right. So we're gonna go ahead and bleep that out. Like, if this motherfucker gets indicted, you know, 6 months from now, we're gonna go ahead and just like cut the video right there. Like, fuck it.
Yes.
But today we are talking about beef. We are talking about rap disses. We are talking about rap beefs, MC versus MC, crew versus crew, however you want to take it. And we talking about our top 5 is going to be the top 5 verses in this track. So we're going to talk a little bit about some bars and talk about why these verses were so important and whether or not we even think that they were worth the beef. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you a question. So as far as a beef goes, like what makes a lyrical beef stand out to you, man?
Honestly, it has to be who's beefing. I can't have, even though, you know, Drake and Meek beefed, I thought it was going to turn into something, but it really didn't turn to anything. It turned into Drake having a top 100 like Billboard hit, basically, and like it didn't really show anything for me. It definitely depends on who's beefing. I really don't need to know the why. But if you're doing it, then let's go. Like, this, yeah. Don't kill nobody, but just be like, yo, I'm that dude. Yeah, I'm about to show you why I'm that dude. Like, we ain't gotta shoot people. We ain't gotta have no crews beefing like that. Like, keep it keep it to a hot 16 or a hot 3-minute song or whatever, and just let's keep it moving.
Absolute. And like going to Drake and Meek Mill, like, so that was very irritating beef, mostly because of the nature in which Drake won.
Yeah.
So like in my mind, I think Drake won just kind of due to his popularity.
Yeah.
And not necessarily for his bars.
He basically won, like you said, popularity and social media.
Yeah.
Like he kind of struck first, and social media just kind of rolled the wave with it. So by the time Meek responded, it was kind of like, nah, this ain't it. Even though it was okay, it was just like it was too far gone.
And Meek is, and Meek, he's already a very memeable MC. So taking him out of the element to where like his bars were actually going to push him forward, like that obviously put Drake to the advantage. But and my point, like I think any good beef has to have good bars. I think I have to hear you rap. Right. So the elephant in the room. Shout out to ADP once again. Y'all need to check that episode out if you want the definition on it. But as of right now, currently, we are in an emerging beef between Kendrick versus Cole and Drake. We've got one verse from Kendrick from that we don't trust you, the Future and Metro Boomin. So he came out swinging, and then Drake just responded. And Drake is kind of sitting on his ass, making memes and sending sad boy Instagram posts. And I don't know what to think about that. But does this have the potential to be one of the epic beefs of all time, Bosko? What you think?
I think so. I think Cole had a great response. Like I'm not gonna say I didn't think he had it in him, but he definitely had a really good response. And you can still tell that he still wants to be cool with Kendrick at the end of the day. So it's kind of like, where is Kendrick going to take it? Like, is he going to be like, nah, screw that. We getting it in, and we about to show you why I'm number one. Bum. So, yeah, I definitely think it could be, for sure. But again, it really depends on where Kendrick takes it. Is he going to do like, I'm going to try to finish this? Or am I going to do like, drop a little something, and then we go back and forth? Let me really see what the lyrical skill is with you.
I would love to see them go back and forth. Somebody said, I seen a post the other day that said this is going to be the closest that we're going to get to the Kendrick Cole collaborative album, like probably, this beef. And
no, probably not. They only like they're our age, right? Maybe a little bit younger.
Yeah. I mean, they could come back.
Yeah, Jay and Nas did
like Jay and Nas. They can come back like Jay and Nas, and I think eventually they will come back. And I think for both of them, it's gonna be about the bars. Yeah, like it's not gonna be like, hey, like I see you at the Grammys, and like we start duking it out type of stuff.
No, this is. I think this is purely lyrical, and hip hop definitely needed it, and hopefully this is kind of the jolt that'll kind of swing stuff back the other way. Absolutely. And I think actually getting to the lyrics, because you got to pay attention, and that's the difference. I think one of the difference between like this beef and like some of the older beefs, and I don't know whether or not. Well, first off, before I forget about it, so J. Cole's response now makes me want to hear J. Cole on Detroit style beats. Okay.
Because I feel like the beat, I don't know who produced it on 7 Minute Drill, but it sounds Detroit beat-ish.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. I'm like, like just a little bit.
So
this sounds familiar. So I was like, all right.
I think Cole need to go ahead and go find like Hell of a or Energy. I think Energy is up from the Flint area. He need to go find one of them cats and just like make a Detroit beat. Like that would be dope. That would be dope. But I think so. One of the dope things, I think this is about the evolution of hip hop, right? Because when we think about like older beefs, like you knew exactly who they were talking to, because they called them out by name. Like,
Yeah.
call, like, the OGs, like, let you know exactly who they were talking about. So I'm gonna give an example. It's not on my top 5, but like one of the oldest diss records of all time, The Bridge Is Over, by BDP, because he was going after the Juice Crew and all the Queens hip hop artists. And I mean, he dropped everybody's name. So where is it at? Talked about Roxanne Shante, MC Shan, Marley Marl. And I mean, he was saying some cutthroat shit. Like he said, he said some cutthroat shit about Roxanne, and all of that stuff. So I mean, they was letting you know like who they talking about. Another one that I think about is DJ Quick's Dollars and Cents. So I didn't know this was a diss track. I was just talking to Bosko about this before we hit record. Probably because like I was younger when it dropped, and I was just like listening to the music, and I wasn't really deconstructing the music. But Dollars and Cents was DJ Quick dissing MC8, and I mean he called this motherfucker by his government name. Like he dropped his real name, and I mean that's something in like the 90s was unheard of. Like you mention somebody by their government name, like it's a problem. Like
right.
You know what I'm saying? You really got a problem with them. And I mean, like he was saying, one of his bars was EIHT, now should I continue? Yeah, you left out the G because the G ain't in you. Like, so for a fact that he's got a problem with MC8. Called him a whack ass actor, movie script killer, probably because of like Menace to Society, you know what I'm saying? But this beef now is like, it's a little bit more metaphoric. So you really kind of got to read between the bars to see who they talking about and why they talking about.
Especially on Kendrick's part. And that's where I'm not going to really say it's going to be a problem, but it's like the young cats ain't going to really, they're like, I guess, no, cold one. You have to really, really listen to what Kendrick is saying. I think that's what it's going to be in the response.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cole, he just kind of came out and just did his thing. Like, he's talking about, he spit his song. All right, bet, I'm putting it in your court. So hopefully Kendrick don't make it too rappy. He kind of, I ain't gonna say dumb it down. Shout out to Lupe, but don't wrap it up, because people ain't gonna really get it. The hip hop heads will get it, but yeah.
And I really enjoy Kendrick's diss. I really do, because it's kind of that next level. Yeah. So like in my mind, they're kind of neck and neck. I'm giving Kendrick a very small lead because of something that I might get into later on in the show, depending on what's in my top 5. Because in 7 Minute Drill, I believe that Cole draws from an older MC's diss in his bars. So I'm gonna bring that up a little bit later. Now, where does Drake stand in all of this? Do you think Drake is gonna respond? I want to know.
So this is my thing. Drake responded to Pusha T, and he shouldn't have responded to Pusha T. That's just me. Like, it's the lyrical skill is just not there. Kind of like the same thing with Jim Jones and Pusha T. It's kind of like, why are you going so hard at Pusha T, Jim Jones? Like, this really isn't it. And I'm kind of glad Pusha just kind of was like, I'm not really responding to this guy. I'm not really responding to him. I don't think Drake should respond. I think he should just, whatever lane he's in, just stay over there and just keep doing that, because this is something totally different, and he hasn't been in that mode in almost 10 years. So
I don't think Drake has ever truly been in that mode. I think
Right.
Drake came up a different kind of MC.
Yeah.
So, you know, like most MCs, and you know, I was an MC for a minute. And I mean, even coming up, like you had to be tested. Like,
Yeah.
you know, whether you were battling, whether you were getting into freestyle competitions, getting into shows, like whatever else you were doing, like you had to kind of get tested. And I don't think Drake was never really in a position when he was a younger MC that he got tested.
Yeah, no, he really didn't get tested all that much. I think Common threw him a shot, and he didn't respond. He just kept it moving, because at that point he was the biggest artist on the planet. So like, again, it's like he it's weird. Like, you didn't respond to Common, but again, like that's way out of your realm. But you respond to Pusha T, and I feel like that's way out of your realm.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, like just because you beat Meek don't. And I think that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Like, he beat Meek and thought that he could box with God. Not pushing God, but it's just kind of like, no, you can't really do that.
Yeah,
he thought really do that.
He thought it was
Joe
a real
Budden's
notch.
Joe Budden's dropped like 3 or 4 diss tracks at him, going at him, and out of your lyrical environment. You should not. Don't even do it. I think his best bet is to kind of just watch from the sidelines and just keep doing what he's doing, just dropping memes, and that's it. Like, it won't turn out well. I mean, obviously, I think some of the hip hop fans of him, they're not really like that anymore. There's like, oh, casual, just no Drake. Like, they're not really standing for him like they used to, I feel. So he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, I think
he's fine. Like, he shouldn't. Now, if he does, then okay, sure. But again, it really depends on how Kendrick kind of responds. So, yeah.
Well, my question is, like, if he responds, is it just his pen? That's the main thing that I will call into question. Because that's the other thing. This is one of the things that makes a good battle a good battle. Like, it's your pen versus his pen.
Right.
And, you know, I know that especially popular hip hop is a very collaborative environment, and I'm not saying that like every MC, you know, needs to write their own thing, especially at that level, right? You know, shout out to some of my favorite MCs of all time are making a great living ghostwriting, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a battle, like, you have to have your actual pen. And I think that Drake's use of collaborative writing is going to call into question whether or not whatever he says is going to be, you know, 100% his. And then 2, like, I don't necessarily think he's like in the lyrical big 3.
No.
Just because he's like in that big 3.
No, he's nowhere. But honestly, he's not even in the hot take top 20 of lyrical MC.
No.
That are out now. Like, no way. No way. We're talking about like new school and old school guys. So like, no way. No, absolutely not. He's not there.
No, he's not. He's not.
At one point, he kind of maybe would have snuck in, but not now. Like, he's went too far away from that. I think he was on that path. He was on that path when he was younger, but I don't think he's there. Yeah. I don't think he's there yet. Yeah. So one of the things that I want to talk about making great diss tracks, and I don't think we really see it now, are the visuals. So I want to take you back to the 90s, to back when we had music videos. And you know, like some of my favorite diss tracks, like, they had great videos to them. And one of the ones that's not on my top 5, but I think visually it was great, was the
was the Eazy E versus Dr. Dre beef, because you had Dre and Snoop drop Dre Day. And like in Dre Day, you've got the fake Eazy E running around and all of that stuff, and they messing with him and stuff like that. And then Eazy E drops Real Motherfucking G's, and they basically take the mock-up of Eazy E, kidnap him, beat him down, and all of that stuff. And I remember, of course, this is the 90s. Rap was a lot more hardcore, if you will. And one of the things that Eazy was playing on was the image of Dr. Dre in the World Class Wrecking Crew. Because like 80s hip hop and 90s hip hop fashion wise was like completely different. Like in the 80s, if you weren't like Run DMC or Public Enemy, like you were still dressing like Disco Dave. You know what I'm saying? So like they had Dr. Dre like in this sequin bodysuit, like the photos from when he was in the World Class Wrecking Crew, and like that image just kept popping up on the screen. And side note, I think Bushwick Bill was in that video. I think he was in the Dre Day video, because I was watching it, and it looks a lot like Bushwick Bill. Shout out to Bushwick Bill. Rest in power. Ghetto Boys for life. Absolutely. What else? Are there any other things that make a good beef track, a good diss track for you, before we get into this?
Yeah, who's in it? Lyrical bars, visuals. That's a good one. I'm trying to think of anything else. No, that's really it. Not really anything, because usually if they beefing, they're already established, so it's not really like, oh man, it's just that diss strategy kind of skyrocketed your stardom. So that's pretty much it, really. Like we ain't really got that too many of those. So
all right. So let me see where we at. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the top 5. So these are the top 5 verses, diss verses. And I'm gonna do one. I'm not even gonna swing. I'm not gonna swing for the fences on the first one, since I get 3 this time.
Yep.
Because I know some of these is probably on your list too. But I'm gonna start with 50 Cent, Back Down. And particularly the second verse on Back Down. I got this in my top 5 because of how hard it hit when I first listened to it. Because I mean, this is Back Down, this is 50 Cent, this is Get Rich or Die Trying. 2002, 2003, this was the biggest record of all time. Like it was like you didn't know anybody who didn't have this freaking record. Back when me and Bosko was in high school and we was selling the bootleg CDs, this was definitely one of them ones that like sold out instantly. We had to have at least 5-10 copies in the backpack coming to school on one day. Man, LimeWire, Kazaa,
Bear Share.
Look, y'all gave young brothers like us that entrepreneurial mindset. Like, you feel me? And I think, so 50 just like went for the jugular with this song, and some of the stuff that just makes it hilarious to me is like the verse started like, the rap game is all fucked up now. What we gonna do now? How we gonna eat, man? 50 back around. This little punk ass thinking out loud. I'm like, man, it was hilarious. And like, good battles, like, they kind of make you chuckle. And I think one of the other lines, it was like, because 50 just keeps starting, he just goes in on Ja. You sing for hoes and sound like the Cookie Monster. Hilarious bar. And then he also talks about the cats on Murder Inc. because Murder Inc. So it was what was that? Cadillac Ty and Black Child were MCs on Murder Inc. And then he called these niggas Mitsubishi Ty and Crack Child. I just thought this shit was hilarious. So like, I'm adding that on my top 5. That's going on the list, man. Because, and then also like, I mean, what is the end result of the battle? Like, Ja Rule. Although Ja Rule is a great MC, he did not have a career after 50
No, he was done
with him. It was stupid.
I mean, I was bumping Vinny Vidi Vici, so I mean, like I ain't like the singing Ja all that much, but I was definitely bumping Vinny Vidi Vici.
I thought the singing Ja was all right.
Right.
Like I bumped the first 3 albums. Like Pain is Love was a dope album to me. But yeah, nah, like he just couldn't come back. And I mean, you know, Murder Inc. didn't necessarily have the greatest roster of MCs.
Yeah.
And G Unit just had
monsters.
Like, monsters. Monsters. Like I mean, Banks, Buck, The Game, like he knew what he was doing. For a short period,
yeah.
Like yeah, the Game lasted like, I don't know what, 15 months.
8 months. Yeah, 8 months.
with G Unit, and I mean, you know, it was, excuse me, it was dope. So you couldn't even go crew for crew, because like anybody there gets decimated. So that's absolutely going on the list, man. Who you got?
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go with one that's about 10 years. He's been constantly beefing with these guys in general. We spoke about it. We spoke about it earlier with Push going at Drake. But in this instance, he kind of went at Drake and Cash Money. I'm talking about Exodus 2031. So that, when I first heard that, I was kind of like, as you were saying with the visuals for the video, amazing to me. Like, it was just like him back in his hood, and they just shooting the shit in the trap house, just like, we getting it in, we coming for you. It definitely already had the Wealth is Beef kind of sample in there a little bit, and I kind of set the tone, and then he just came out guns a-blazing. So he just came out guns a-blazing, and it was kind of like, you would have thought Wayne would have responded, but I mean, Wayne ain't said nothing about that at all. And at that time, Drake didn't really say anything at all. Maybe some sneak disses here and there, but he didn't drop a full song lyrically going like, yeah, I'm coming back. Nah, he didn't do anything. So I think that might have been the reason why he probably responded to Pusha T this past time, because he did not respond to Exodus at all.
He didn't say shit.
He didn't say shit.
He didn't say shit, and that is definitely a dope beef track.
So my thing was, obviously, it's a couple lines in there that really stand out. Again, excuse me, I'm not a rapper. Where he was like, contracts all fucked up now. I guess that means you all fucked up now. You signed to one nigga that signed to another nigga that signed to 3 niggas. So that's bad luck. That was that was really good, and it hit home. I'm like, dang, that's definitely right. Because Wayne was signed to Birdman, and Drake was signed to Wayne, who was also signed to Birdman. So it's kind of like,
Cash Money was a pyramid scheme. Like, let's just be honest about it. Like, Cash Money was what do they call it? Like, multi-level marketing now or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that was Cash Money
MLM,
was the hip-hop version, because nobody leaves Cash Money happy.
Nobody, not at all.
Nobody,
I mean, now they're not really dumping anything, but I mean, yeah. But
Baby sitting on all the masters right now.
Yep, not giving away nothing. But the verse that really, it's in the same, I guess, verse, but what really killed me for him, that makes it stand out for my top 5, was basically, he was like, fuck playing games, don't be scared, get everything you came for. They talking that big shit, little do you know we don't miss shit. Them niggas using you as a pawn. You see, they never loaded their guns. Now you out here all by yourself. Ask Steve Jobs, wealth don't buy health. And I'm like,
Ooh.
And Steve Jobs just died
just
that year.
Just
died. And Steve Jobs had that fuck you money, but in the end, it's like, it don't matter. It don't matter. And I'm like, oh. So that, for me, solidified. I'm like, this man is not to be trifled with at all.
Wasn't Wayne having some issues? Was that around the same time he was kind of hitting the lean a little too hard?
A little too hard, yep.
Man.
A little too hard. So yeah, definitely Pusha T Exodus 2031.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna leave this one on the table. I'm gonna swing for the fences on this one because I feel like my next one, I have to play off of you for my last pick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Pac. Hit 'em up.
Okay.
I mean, everything about it, like everything about it. Like, I feel like even to this day, like that is the quintessential, one of the quintessential diss tracks, one of the quintessential diss verses. And I mean,
just
it start like, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat mother. Like,
fuck.
Jesus.
Off rip, like no fucking getting
violence. And I mean, he's calling everybody out. He's got parodies of all of the artists in the video. He's like, he snatches the fake Lil' Kim's wig off. I mean, like the song is so dope. And I mean, peace to the Outlaws. I love the Outlaws. I love listening to the Outlaws, but nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares. I think it was Idi Amin and Tragedy Gaddafi's. I think they were on there with him too. Let me see. I think they all had verses. Let me scroll. Yeah, Gaddafi and Idi Amin, like they had like verses 4 and 5. And I mean, you know, like we listening, but we not listening because like Pop goes in for like
he just kills it. Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm good.
He goes after Mob D. Like he starts talking about Prodigy, Sickle Cell, rest in power to both of them. But I mean, like all of that shit. And then like he had the nerve, because you know, like and you hear the take money, same sample damn near. You know, but I mean, like it was so good. It was so good. So I gotta place him at the top. I gotta place that first verse, that opening verse, at the fucking top. I mean, everything about it. Like, we bust on bad boys, niggas fuck for life. Man, Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia, some mark ass bitches. Like, that just come on, man. You know, and I mean, it wasn't like, it's not the most lyrical.
No, it's just like
the aggression.
It's very, very, very aggressive.
Like
very aggressive.
Like you in there with them. Like you want to take shots. Like it made East Coast cats like maybe think about like, damn, man, like, where am I at on this thing?
That's right.
So I gotta throw that. I gotta throw that there. I gotta throw him on there.
Okay.
Where you at?
All right. So I got another one. I'm gonna go with our boy Jay-Z. I'm not going with Takeover. I'm going with Super Ugly. I'm going with Super Ugly. To me, I thought this was super disrespectful. Takeover was definitely disrespectful, but Super Ugly, I know that's not the name of the song. He just rapped off the song, but the line where he's like, I came into your Bentley back seat, skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on the baby seat. I was like, ugh. That was so disrespectful. That's super disrespectful. And I think his mom wanted him to apologize for that line because I'm like, that's super disrespectful.
Yeah, so
super disrespectful.
First off, so you're right. It was super ugly, and he's rapping off of the "Got Yourself a Gun."
Yep.
Man, ooh, man, I had to pull this up. Man, this is oh,
like when I heard,
sneaking
like,
out the
so
back of the Source Sound Lab.
So my thing was like he killed Takeover, but Takeover came out and then Ether came out, and everybody was like, "It's dead, Jay. Like this is it." And Jay was like, "All right, fuck it. We just gonna kind of air it out there."
Yeah,
air it out there. And then I guess the thing was, I guess AI was also fucking with Nas's baby mom, and in the beginning he's like, "Oh, I guess me and AI got something in common," and I'm like. So it kind of just, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Those was fighting words. Kind of like what we did with Hit 'Em Up. Like you really was like, oh, what side am I on?
Wait a minute. I'm looking up the lyrics as you talking about this. He didn't even say we got more. He's like, we got more than common, more in Carmen.
Carmen, yeah.
And Carmen was her name, bro.
Yeah. Yes.
Bro.
So no, it's not Takeover for me. It's that. It's super ugly. Super ugly.
Oh.
I only get 2. So I'm like,
man,
I could go with the usual suspect, but I'm like, nah, this is I think is the gem out of them.
It's definitely a gem. So I'm not about to pick this one, but you probably know where I'm gonna go. I feel like I have to in this episode. But so speaking of Takeover, I was talking about Cole earlier. So if you listen to Takeover, the Takeover lyrics, where it's at, third verse. So, because I had the third verse on, like you had a spark when you started, but now you just garbage. Fell from top 10 to not mention at all. Let's see where. 4 albums in 10 years I could divide. That's one every, let's say, 2 of them shits was doo-doo. One was the other was Illmatic. That's a one hot album every 10-year average.
10-year average.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like, so Cole,
he definitely did.
He did a play on that. He kind of sampled that in the diss against Kendrick. So that's why I say I get, but like that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut right there. Like,
and
the average listener don't know.
They don't know. And truth be told, that's kind of why I give it to Cole, because I'm like, I kind of agree with with what he's saying, because Section 80 is my magnum opus to me.
Yeah. Good
Kid, Mad City is good, but it's like, it was kind of more of it definitely shot more pop way, even though it was a hip hop album. The casuals loved Good Kid, Mad City, and then obviously Pimp a Butterfly was just kind of, at the time and what was going on, it just hit, and it was perfect.
It was,
and I was like, that was your prime, and I was like, okay, Cole. I digress, but continue.
So I gotta wait a minute. Did you just call like the average rap listeners the casuals?
Yes.
We gotta keep that. we gotta fucking keep that. Like whenever we're talking about like average opinions, like I'm gonna have to say the casuals, like, because it's true though. It's so true, and that's why like this platform is needed, because I feel like the internet is just full of casuals making ridiculous takes because they just stream the song like 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I gotta stay off Twitter. That's why I gotta stay the fuck off Twitter. So I had Takeover's third verse like in the pocket. I'm not gonna go with that, but since you went with Jay, because I thought you were gonna go one or two ways, I gotta go the other way. So I gotta throw Ether on here.
Okay.
I gotta throw Ether
Absolutely.
on here.
That's fair.
And obviously I am going with just due to everything he said in the third verse. Because I mean, like, he opens it up strong, but like the third verse is the verse that everybody goes off of. Like that's the one that's got the most quotes. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see where we at. You a fan, a phony, a fake, a pussy, a stan. I don't know. I gotta look this up because I think that might be the first reference to stans.
Yeah.
I think Eminem.
Oh, no. I think it was Eminem, and then it was Nas.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying
Yeah,
like calling like super fans stan.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
it was like, yeah, Eminem had the song Stan, but and like now, you know, Eminem super fans are called stans. But I think this might be the first time somebody called somebody else a stan. I'll step you 36 in a karate class. You Taibo ho. You trying to work it out. You want to get brolic. Like, this shit. I rock hoes. Y'all rock fellas. Man. Look. Whiskers like compared to beans you whack. You know,
Nah, you took that from me. That was gonna be mine. I was gonna have that part. Was no good. I ain't got no more picks, so I'll go ahead and let it rip. Yeah, that part where he was talking about compared to beans you whack, and it's kind of like, is he wrong though? Because Beans was going at him whenever he was on the track with Jay. It was always just like a 1-2.
It was
every time, and it was like a coin flip. To be honest, so it's kind of like, is he lying?
Yeah,
he ain't really lying. So I mean, Broad Street Bully.
And then of course, and Eminem murdered you on your own shit. Like that line, because that made everybody go back and listen to Renegade.
Man, when I listen to Renegade, I was already knew like Eminem kind of killed this. Like this,
Eminem
this ain't it. This ain't it, Jay.
I miss that Eminem. I do. I miss that Eminem so bad because like right now he is only rapping against himself.
Yeah,
like
basically
he ain't got like even in some of the songs that he's been on recently. Like he was on he one of the EPMD songs with Nas. You know, even when he's got other people, like it feels like he's just rapping against himself. And like when you listen to, you know, songs like Renegade or another good one is I'll Kill You, the Busta Rhymes joint, I'll Kill You, where Busta and Eminem are going back and forth. It's like, one, he is trying to out rap his peer, but on the other hand, like he's making the song entertaining.
Yep.
I feel like now he's just rapping to rap, and like the only people who like him are the casuals, and a certain type of casual. The only people who like a lot of his stuff now are the Eminem is the best technical rapper group of people.
Yeah,
I hate that because like Eminem is a dope MC, and Eminem does drop some great gems. You know, every now and then, but I feel like you got to dig to find them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Detroit versus Everybody was fucking amazing. Like it was fucking amazing. You know, the ciphers and stuff that he does is fucking amazing. You know, like Bad Meets Evil 2 was amazing.
Yeah.
So like that's where we at, man. So count them up. Count them up. We've got we got 5 here. So hit them up. Super Ugly, Ether, Exodus, and Back Down. So Bosko, what's the order?
To be honest with you, hit him up 1. Oh man, this is. I gotta put Ether 2, but that J line just kills me every time. That that I kind of want to put it to because it was so disrespectful, and it got personal. That was super personal. That was really, really personal. I'm like, yeah, Ether 2, Super Ugly 3, Exodus 4, and then Back Down 5. Like, Back Down is not messing with any of those, to be honest.
No.
So, but it's fifth for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's definitely not messing with the four above it. But it for sure had its impact. So like those are our five, and I mean this is the dope five. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and close the show, but we're gonna go and record our honorable mentions because I got a few. I got a few that I want to talk about honorable mention wise, and I know you probably got some. So
yeah, I got a couple.
So we gonna list our honorable mentions in another episode. But like, hey, thanks again for listening to us, checking us out on the library. Let us know, like, comment, share, subscribe. What is your favorite diss track? What is your favorite diss verse? Your favorite diss bar? And let's have a conversation about it. What you think about the list? Does this list make you mad? Does it make you want to write? Does it make you want to write a 16? Because you in your feelings. If so, let me know. I got a friend. His name is Inspector Clouseau, and he would love to get involved. But I think that's it for the episode, man. So hey, Bosko, take us out, man.
All right, y'all peace out. Take care. Go comment. Throw all the heat Smitty way because I ain't got it. So.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.